What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am, of course, your host, your bastard of ceremonies, the one and only Reckless Rexx Ruger, and thank God I am one of one. What will the world do with more than one? That's the million-dollar question, but we don't need to worry about it because here I am. You got me all to yourselves. And, of course, I'm joined by the one and only Freddie Mercury Puppet. I am in the flesh. He is in the felt. But we are here in the house with another banger of an episode. We're getting heavy. We're getting brutal. We're getting down to the brass tacks like we always do. You know what to expect here if you've been tapping in. Amazing and real conversations. That's how we get down. Revitalizing and reviving the lost art of conversation. Not reinventing the wheel. We're just chopping it up all over the board with it. Never know where the conversation will go, but it will always kick ass and be entertaining. At least I hope you guys think so. So with that being said, before my guest gets in here, and I'm excited to have him on, let's review it first. Okay, we know that you're looking at Diamond David Lee Roth Jr. We've established that. Pretty soon, my lawyers have guaranteed me that we are really going to establish that and once and for all have that clarity that we know we've always wanted all along. We've known in our hearts what we're looking at, the smoldering good looks, the luscious blonde locks. We obviously know that I'm cut from the same cloth. We know, my viewers, my subscribers, the Pod Scum army know that you are looking at the son of glam, the front man for the band, adored by millions of fans, the peanut butter to your jam, Mr. Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am, wop bop a loo bop a wop bam bam shazam, hot damn. We know he looks like the man. We know he sounds like the man. We know he's oozing charisma like the man. Gotta be related to the man. And I am, and I will prove it. But I digress. Let's try to stay on topic here and talk about my guest. Super happy to have him on here, man. A staple, a stalwart in the death metal community for many, many years, nearly 2 decades. You remember him as the voice and guitar player in one of the most brutal death metal bands of all time, the legendary NILE. And now, since 2000, I believe, in 14, he's been, his new project is Narcotic Wasteland. Equally brutal, equally heavy. There's no let up with this guy. Everything he puts his fingerprint on is brutal and heavy as hell. I'm just going to say it. So I'm super happy to have him on here. Before he gets in here, I want to let you guys know that as of right now on the channel, Pod Scum, at least. And you know, I do 2 separate podcasts. If you're into the pugilism, we got you covered with Off the Couch Boxing. If you're into the music, we got you covered here on Pod Scum. But speaking specifically of Pod Scum, we just passed episode number 300. And episode 300 in particular, very special, a milestone that meant a lot to me. We celebrated by having legendary death metal guitar player and our most viewed guest from his episode that he did 2 years ago, the legendary James Murphy. That was a treat, a real pleasure. Hope you guys have tapped in. But what I really want to, the point I really want to get at is 300 episodes is because of you guys out there, the viewers, the subscribers, and of course, at the end of the day, the guests. That's what it's really all about. Without whom I could not do this and get this content out to everybody. So I really appreciate that. And that goes double. That's for both podcasts. Although I am in my Pod Scum mode right now, it also goes for Off the Couch Boxing. You know, the multitude of legendary people associated with the fight game that have graced Off the Couch Boxing. And on that podcast, we are north of, or I think we just hit 260 episodes. So Off the Couch Boxing, nipping at the heels of Pod Scum. So, you know, your boy Reckless Rexx is out there working hard, probably ranks top 3, top 5 hardest working men in the business. We'll put Pops on the list. Obviously, we got to put the number 1 soul brother, James Brown. And then I think there's me. I don't know. That's up for debate. That's for you guys to decide. That's for the public to decide. But I will put my playlists up for both podcasts. I will put the credentials up. I will put the, as I said, the multitude of amazing guests that I have run down and put the legwork in to get on these podcasts. I will go head to head up against anybody. That's why on Off the Couch Boxing, I say that I am the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast, which I am, a well-defended crown. I don't think I have really any competition at all. I'm just an independent podcaster, so I'm not out there like that. I've had to grind. I've had to hustle for all these views, all these subscribers. Nothing's bought. Nothing's paid for. Nothing is coerced. Everybody has found this channel organically, and that's what I'm the most proud of. And that's what I hang my hat on, and that's what means the most to me. And I think I can speak on behalf of my co-host / former co-host. He did pop into an episode a while back. Frankie the Flamethrower Benji's my son / co-host of Off the Couch Boxing. We're grateful. We are extremely grateful that we've built the audience, and we've built the audience the way we wanted to build the audience. So, you know, we're happy. We're grateful for the people that do like what we do and do enjoy the conversations and do enjoy the content in the interviews. So hats off to you guys. And I'll keep putting it out there as long as you guys keep digging it. And the feedback has been great. So, the analytics, while we don't always grow leaps and bounds, oftentimes it is a slow trickle. It is always growth. I check the analytics from month to month, and I'm happy to report that we are always growing in increments. You know, of course, everybody wants everything to happen, boom, blow up. But, you know, to quote a tired old saying, but it has been around a long time for a reason. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it, folks? So it just wasn't. So before my guest gets in here, let me do my shameless promotion, because you have to be part-time podcast host, part-time pimp. So I'm going to make sure that my pimp hand is strong, and it is. And I'm going to point out to you guys to make sure to like and follow SCUM and Off the Couch Boxing, both podcasts sharing the same Facebook at Off the Couch Boxing and SCUM on Facebook. You'll get episodes on, updates on new episodes when they're dropping, who will be on said episodes, and any other big news in the world of boxing and or music, arts, and entertainment. If it's popping off in either one of those worlds, I am trying to put it up on the channel and keep my audience in the loop, tapped into what's going on out there in both of those respective worlds. And of course, if you're watching right now, you are in the right place. Pat yourself on the back, congratulate yourself, feel good that you've joined the party, because you should. And of course, the most important thing, if you're here, like, subscribe, smash that notification button. You got to stay informed. It's all about being informed. It's about communication and staying informed, being in the loop. So, you know, this is where you want to be right here. Amazing episodes, new episodes every single week. I'm getting content out there. No real rhyme or reason, or no set pattern or set schedule. Just be looking for new shit to drop weekly. Could be Monday, could be Thursday, could be Saturday, could be all of those days. But, you know, I dangle it out there as much as I can. My guest is here. I'm going to shut up. We're going to get him in here. I'm excited. You're excited. We're excited. Let's go. All right. Now we just got to get his camera up. Do I got you?
There's that, and there's the audio.
You able to see me and hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Listen, man, I appreciate you doing this, and especially on such short notice, man. Good to have you back, man. How's everything?
Really good. Just busy as hell, you know, as usual.
Wow, you didn't even hesitate, man. You said not just good, really good.
Yeah, man. I've just been busy trying to, you know, of course, we're all working to pay the bills, but also just working on getting prepared for this next tour and
yes.
And all that stuff. I'm trying to find a good place for my camera so it doesn't.
I want to ask you, while you're hooking up the camera and stuff and getting in a good spot, man, you bring up that you're about to embark on a tour in September, man. You've been doing this a long time. You know, I'm 52 years old. You know, I know, and I'm not a touring musician or anything like that. I just have a regular day job, and then I have this as my side hustle. So I am home every night. But do you still like that part of the business? You know, being torn away from your creature comforts and going out on the road, and if so, how long do you like to be out there for? What's a comfortable itinerary?
For me, a comfortable itinerary would be 6 weeks is pushing it for anybody.
Okay.
Just because everybody just needs real sleep, and
Yeah.
it's it's just time to get to take a break and all that. I would say that's pretty much the threshold. But I, even back in the old days, when I was in NILE, I mean, we've been known to go 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, and it was still, still wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? But you got to just, take care of yourself. Don't go out there and go nuts with the partying and all that stuff.
Yeah.
As we get
Absolutely.
older, we start to realize that too. Which is a good thing.
Now, I think a lot of people might not realize, man, because they will remember you're nearly 2 decades in NILE of you being the vocalist / guitar player, but you started early on in life as a drummer, correct?
Yeah, that was my first love, so to speak. um, my older cousin and his band had turned me on to some rock stuff, and I got to screw around with the drum set over at their rehearsal a couple times, and then I just kept. Then finally was able to get a drum set of my own, and uh, absolutely loved it. And that's all I did for about 4 years, and then I'd say about 13. I knew a little bit of guitar stuff, but I didn't really screw with it too much. I'd learned couple of things from my grandfather, but I didn't really mess with it too much. And I started getting into stuff like, of course, I was already into like Maiden and Priest and Sabbath and all the
Yeah.
usual suspects. And
Usual gateway drugs. Yeah.
right, yeah. I was already into all that stuff, Rush and all that. And then a band called Metal Church really got my attention to the guitars. I remember hearing that first Metal Church album and being like, I really want to learn how to play that on guitar. And a buddy from high school shows me a power chord, and the rest is history.
So you very nearly could have been a drummer, or do you feel like that? Like how devoted were you to the drums, man? Like, how easy was it for it to fall to the wayside in lieu of the guitar?
And it just happened gradually. The more I got into guitar, and the more I got better at guitar, the less I played my drums. Um, I didn't notice any like real deterioration in my drum chops, maybe after a year or two later.
Yeah.
Because I played a lot, and even messed around with jamming with other musicians and stuff back then, even though I was really young. It's kind of that was the thing, being that young, trying to find people that either A, wanted to jam with a kid, or B, another kid that could play. So that was kind of by the time I got into high school and was a young teenager, I met a couple other people, and I don't know, I just got interested in guitar from that point, and then ended up starting a band and not being able to find a singer. So I ended up having to do all that. I started singing and playing about the same time, actually, within that first year. And yeah, that was probably, to give you a timeline, I guess that would have been 87, 86, 87 when I started getting really serious on the guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe a little later, maybe 80, 87, 88, somewhere in there.
But what you do though, but what you do vocally, for people that don't know or don't understand brutal death metal, I mean, you are using your voice as an instrument as well. How has it held up over the years? And do you ascribe to any type of vocal care regimen, anything like that, or do you just kind of just comes naturally?
I would say, as far as vocal care, definitely you probably shouldn't smoke cigarettes or inhale smoke. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I know, because I did smoke for quite a time in my life. And I'm going on almost 2 years now, like nicotine free.
Yeah.
So as far as sustaining what I have, that is a huge help. And so I highly recommend that. And I also highly recommend staying hydrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I try to get my daily water intake in close. They want you to drink it in ridiculous amounts of water. You know
They
what I
do.
mean?
They do. They really do.
So I try to stay up with that. I do a lot of these sparkling waters too, just straight sparkling water.
Yeah, I do that too. I
Jazz it up a
I
little
realized once when I was watching one of those, like, don't you know those doctors that have a TV show, and again, I'm not vouching for how reputable they are, but I have heard numerous times 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, and I started to think, holy shit, I don't know if I drink that in a year. 8 to 10 glasses. I'm gonna really step it up.
Yeah. I've always drank quite a bit of water, even since
That's
I
good.
was a young child. Yes, it was they talk about the generation that drank from the hose outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I am
was
that for
definitely
sure.
that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, absolutely. And look, man, we survived to tell the tale, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I feel pretty
Jesus,
good.
man.
I mean, all things considering, I turned 51 this year, and it feels a whole lot like, I don't
Yeah.
know, 41.
I turned 52 back in January, man. So yeah, I'm from that. Yeah, I'm from that same generation too. And so did you grow up in a very musical household? Is that kind of what got you into music? I hear a lot of people kind of echo that story who end up in music or the arts and entertainment field, that sometimes they grew up in, not everybody, but they grew up in musical households. Their parents are playing a lot of records. You know what I mean? There's an abundance of music filling their homes. Was that the case for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a big part of life. Like, I had an older cousin that played in bands, and actually, you either were in theater or you played some kind of instrument. And there was a uncle, or actually, one of my grandfather's brothers, apparently could just play just about anything that he put his hands on. He was like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's kind of in the blood on both sides. I mean, my dad, he played bass too. Um, Mom was in the high school band. Everybody was kind of involved. Yeah, it kind of was thick in the family.
Well, I do a boxing podcast as well on my channel, and I like to ask a lot of those guys, like, sometimes, man, like where they feel like they are, in terms of their age correlating with their prime. I guess I could pose it to a musician sort of a different way. Where do you feel like when you look back on your vast amount of work that you've done, if someone were to hold your feet to the flame and say, hey, point at a project or a song or an album where Dallas is really shining and at his best, I mean, like, could you do it if you were going to point someone to like one piece of work and say, hey, here's a snapshot of what I'm most proud of?
Yeah, actually, one of the things that I've been working on recently, I've been meaning to try to devote more time to, is the DTW YouTube channel.
Okay.
And one of the things that I'm going to be doing on there is, like, on the Narcotic Wasteland channel, last year I did a lot of playthroughs on there celebrating 10 years of the debut release or whatever.
Yep.
On my DTW channel, I've already got one NILE song that I wrote the music for.
Yep.
Guitar playthrough up there. So, and actually today what I've been kind of working on is the next one that I'm going to be releasing imminently, as soon as I get it put together. And I've got to actually practice a couple of solos. Anyways, long story short, I'm picking 2 songs to do playthroughs for, because I'm trying to, one of the albums that I felt really proud of was Annihilation of the Wicked.
Yeah.
NILE, which is 20-year anniversary.
Yep.
This year. So, really love that album. I think everything aligned and it just came out great. That was George Colias's first record with us. It was the first time working with producer Neil Kernan. There was a lot of things aligned, and it to me is one of the highlights for sure, not just for me, but for NILE as well. And so I'm going to be putting out those playthroughs, and I tell you what, we haven't played the Burning Pits of the Duat since probably that tour, and reviewing it for the playthrough, and I remembered more of it than I thought I would. When I actually sat and listened to it, because I haven't honestly even thought about it. in a long time. And then when I listened to it, I was like, holy shit.
Higher than I remember.
Flying, that's just flying. So it was cool. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is that thing right there. And then there was like one that I did have to listen to a couple of times just to make sure. But it's ready to go. I just got to get warmed up, play along, with the track, and do that a couple of times in front of the camera, basically.
And what usually comes to you first when you are writing a song, man? Like, does a line come first, a title, a riff? Like, where does it start when you're sitting down to actually, structure a song?
The answer would be yes.
Almost. It could be any of those.
All of the above, really, because sometimes you might have a line, like Sex, Lies, and DNA. Like, I kind of got the idea for that from a Forensic Files episode, but there was also a Dexter episode. It's called Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Anyways, I thought it was kind of appropriate. But anyways, I did have Sex, Lies, and DNA, like a chorus kind of going on. And it just kind of fit with the song that I was writing, particularly the one riff, the chorus, that riff that goes with that. It just fit perfectly. And actually got some gang vocals in on it and all that stuff, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, it comes from all kinds of sources. There was a time, I'd say in the early to mid 2000s, I was really into movie scores and found a lot of inspiration from movie scores. Not necessarily just like melodies, but also just the way things were constructed or the way it would build.
Right.
And blending that with sort of the bombastic, flying death metal stuff can give some interesting twists and turns along the song. But yeah, I would say, or it could be as simple as you pick up the guitar and something just happens.
Yeah,
and that could be the start of the song too. They all work. I've worked with lyrics before, or just had a couple of guitar ideas. Sometimes that's what happens. So yeah.
Now for I'll come back to some of my other questions, man, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask, and I don't want to get beat up in the comment section for any fans of Narcotic Wasteland who will want me to get this out on the open, man. But what is going on, new music-wise, upcoming projects, anything like that? The last full length was 2017, but there was a single, Barbarian, in 2024.
Yeah, we have been releasing some singles. The album has been ready to go for a while, but it's just a matter of the stars aligning to where, Eric is available and I'm available and all that. Everything is pretty much already recorded. It's just a matter of mixing it. But also, I'm trying to keep the band active on the live front in the meantime. And, also work, when I'm home and stuff like that. So it's really just a matter of having the time, I had been meaning to maybe put something on the Narcotic YouTube channel, just giving sort of an update with that. And basically that's what it is. I mean, I've been meaning to have this thing out for a long time now, actually, but life, good or bad, things happen, and you just have to devote your time to other things. But at the meantime, a lot of people still don't even know about the band. And a lot of people, think that I just kind of dropped off the face of the planet. So I'm very adamant about us keeping a live presence. We're going out in September. We're actually going to be playing 2 NILE songs on that tour.
Yep.
Which is going to be a lot of fun to revisit and play those songs. It's been a while.
I'm sure there
And
are people that remember your 2 decades in NILE though, who might not know the story though. Like you know, you mentioned just dropping off the face of the earth, man. But what was the impetus? Did you just want to do something different? You know, what was the departure in the process like when you did leave NILE? Because certainly, man, you know, you are associated with that band. You know, what I mean, like people, you know, you were the lead singer, front man, for lack of a better word, of that band for nearly 2 decades. You know, what was the impetus for leaving?
Well, basically, yeah, I did kind of want to do some different things,
Yeah.
and different things in life in general. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, I did want to pursue something a little bit different musically, and I really just kind of needed a break for a little
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And
And I mean, 2 decades is a long time to do anything, too. It really is.
yeah, yeah, and I actually went to a Nile show not too long ago. It was like 4 months ago or something. It was when they were out on tour. 6 Feet Under was opening.
Okay.
And yeah, so I saw the guys and they sounded great. You know,
Yeah.
quick little high, all that stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah. So it's cool to see those guys still out there doing it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. I agree. They do sound good. They've still got George, who, in my opinion, one of the best death metal drummers out there. Incredible player.
Oh yeah, man, and cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the new Narcotic Wasteland, LP or EP?
It's supposed to be a full length.
Okay.
And we've released 5 singles since the last album. But I'm kind of looking. I've got a couple of label options that I'm kind of looking at as well. So that's kind of another reason why sometimes it takes longer than you want for something to
Right.
come out. Because if I can get somebody to, I'm not expecting some kind of crazy budget or anything, but someone that can definitely help push it out there.
Yeah.
And we'll try to do as much as we can independently on our end as far as putting out decent sounding stuff, that kind of thing.
Well, I only ask because the music landscape has obviously changed, and it is a fickle world now where people, attention spans aren't what they once were. You don't see people. Although I guess it does still make sense in the metal world, to drop LPs. It is one of the few genres left, like where you do see fully realized bodies of work. But it has become an EP. God, I hate to even say it, but even like a singles world, a track by track world now. I mean, people just aren't dropping the needle on an album and just just taking the full ride anymore sometimes.
Yeah, I wanted to take a step back from that as well and just do that. But I think what I really ultimately want to do is both. I want to put out full lengths, but I also want to put out singles, and singles that aren't necessarily on an album. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think moving forward, that's what it's going to take. And also that's why I've been kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to do the YouTube channel. Because it'll help, promote what I'm doing, of course, but it can be fun. I don't want to get totally locked to it, like, or you've got to do it, you've got to post every day and all that. No, I don't want to do that. I do want to put some things out every now and then that, that might be fun for people to watch, and, maybe even open a discussion about whether a piece of gear or be eventually a recording technique or, stuff like that. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
And doing that as well. Cause like I said, it can definitely be, it's something that, we think about and talk about a lot already. So just may as well document it. And that's kind of my philosophy on why I'm going to end up doing all the NILE tracks that I contributed music to as playthroughs. And one of the reasons why I'm playing a couple of the songs is because I have had some fans be like, "Man, you should play a couple NILE tunes,"
Absolutely, sure.
And I was never really opposed to that. I love and I'm proud of, and love the guys and love what they're doing now. But I'm more of just a let's move forward kind of guy.
Right. Now look
So
back.
I didn't really want to just do that thing. But now I've got a couple of ways that I can do that. Um, because we're also talking about changing tunings and all kinds of stuff. I have a
Right.
way to do that efficiently now.
But you did make the point, though, about Annihilation of the Wicked, though. You know, I mean, how proud you are of that body of work. And Nile, the songs, I mean, you did leave behind and did have a hand in creating an amazing body of work. You know what I mean? Like, it is a way to celebrate those songs.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know?
it'll be fun. We already played. We did Brutal Fest in Michigan, and it went pretty well, man. And we honestly hadn't even really rehearsed it full on before. I mean, we reviewed it just hanging out in the living room or whatever, just reviewed the song or whatever. But yeah, that was the first time I had sang and played it since whenever we played it last, or whenever I played it last with Niall. And yeah, it went fine.
What are the themes, though? Like, when people hear the band name Narcotic Wasteland, it's certainly like Nile was certainly on their own trip. Certainly there were themes and elements of Nile that people resonated with. A lot of stuff that was inspired by, stuff that you guys were into, the Lovecraft stuff, a lot of that stuff. But like, what's the message you're trying to convey, or what would you say is the meaning behind, if there is one, behind the Narcotic Wasteland material?
Oh, in the beginning, it kind of started out about just how some of the really bad drugs are kind of just taking us over.
Yeah,
The recent one being the fentanyl
absolutely.
crisis. So that's one of the themes, but I also have written some stuff, true crime. There's been a few anti-religious sort of philosophies, I would say, that in a couple of the lyrics, but I think theme-wise, Narcotic is about what's happening in the modern world today.
Yeah.
All the nasty stuff that people don't want to talk about. The increase in narcissism and the divide of people, and the just continuous greed that's just getting seemingly worse and worse.
Yep.
With people with people of power, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't say that we would ever get into anything deeply political, but if you read the Barbarian lyrics, it's my sort of basic philosophy on life. Basically what the song is about. And that means that I don't need, what the song is kind of saying in the beginning is that I don't need a political party or a religion to tell me how to be a good person.
Right.
Or how to live my life. And music has always been a form of escape from that, even if it's just for 30 minutes.
Right.
In my own mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so the Barbarian is tries to live on the road as often as possible, see the beautiful countryside as much as possible, meet like-minded people as much as possible, and sort of escape the crutches of these greedy people that just want to stick you in. They're just going to stick you in this pedal right here like a battery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Right
fry your ass.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to wear you out and stick
Yep.
another battery in that machine. And there you go.
And so on the website, there are bios on 5 people involved in the band, but then some websites list you guys as a 3-piece. So expound on what the actual band is. Narcotic Wasteland is a 3-piece.
Right now, currently, we are a trio. Yep.
Okay.
It's me and Kenji on bass and Joe on drums.
Okay.
Yep. And for the foreseeable future, that is the way it's going to be. The tour that we did, the big tour we did last year, celebrating my birthday and the 10 years of Narcotic Wasteland. was as a trio, and it was great. And Kenji is very badass bass player, but he's also playing like keys with his feet,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
doing all kinds of stuff. And we have a few more tricks up our sleeve that I can't wait for everybody to see as well. And you know, and there is someone there's someone trying out for guitar. I like I said, to the guys, that would have to be somebody really, really dedicated and special at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you see us now, I mean, it's tighter than it ever was. It really is.
Why would you want a fourth player, though? Do you feel like the sound, could be bigger and thicker? I mean, because obviously pulling off death metal and make it sound big and brutal and heavy, being able to pull that off as a three-piece, really speaks volumes, because you usually do see death metal bands, at least 4 or 5 guys, really to round out that sound,
Yeah. I would say mostly because of some of the songs, it would be because of harmonies.
Yeah.
Whether it be harmonies in the riffs, I had primarily written for 2 guitars because in my mind, I always thought of us as a quartet. But not all of the songs require that. And I've discovered that on my end as well. But there's a harmony, I can probably find a chord equivalent, which I did, or I can play one part one time and then play the other part the other time.
Right.
So that it keeps it interesting that way. But a lot of the stuff is just punk rock and just riffs anyway. So it just works fine as one with one guitar.
And so you guys are going to be starting a tour in September, man. So, how do you prepare for a tour? I mean, you mentioned that you're 51 years old. Is there any special preparation, any special planning, like when you're going to be leaving and packing up and going and like living like a nomad on the road for a little while? Does it take any kind of gearing up to do this?
What I'll do, and that's pretty much what I'll be doing all month, is at least 3 times a week hitting the set lists. And a couple of times on the weekends as well, and just practicing a lot. I have been off Sundays I've been teaching lessons, but I haven't had in a couple of weeks. I might have one next week, but also just a lot of practice time in.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a day where I've got a few students or something I got to teach, then I'm just going to sit there and shred around on the guitar. One of those kind of days. It's good to have those kind of days, and then it's good to have a day where you just rip the set lifts and try to hurt yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. And now, who will be out on this tour with you? Who are the specific bands going out with you?
We got some headlining shows, but also we're going to be doing a support slot at Ground Zero in Spartanburg. I think Crypta is headlining that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be dropping in to play. I don't know if it's direct support for them or not, but we'll be playing on that show. And then we got some direct support with the band Filth.
Okay.
For the back end of the tour. And then, the goal of the tour basically is to try and go some places we haven't gone in a while.
Yeah.
And then, we already got some comments. Oh, no West Coast dates. And but that'll be January. We
never make everybody happy. You never can make everybody happy. You just can't do it.
There was a comment that was like, "There's no East Coast dates," and it's like almost all East Coast dates.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so yeah, that's why I don't look at comments. But anyways,
you're better off.
You got to take it with a grain of salt because but people sometimes just don't read stuff.
And so now you're saying. And so you said the Narcotic Wasteland album is pretty much done and in the can. When should fans expect it to be released? Is it likely 2025 or more likely 2026 at this point?
I'm trying for the end of the year.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to try and do. I think that is definitely a doable goal. It was initially going to be the first quarter, but I just read a thing or commented on a thing where a certain artist was saying, don't start any more metal bands. I'm not even going to say who it is. I'm sure you'll see. I'm sure you'll see it out there.
Okay.
My comment was, it's, not to ever listen to that kind of advice. To always just put it out there when you can, while you can, and see what fly the flag and see who salutes it, like old Lenny
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. I kind of find that to be a bit of a conundrum, because you find most people in the metal world usually are in 5 or 6 different bands. A lot of them.
Yeah, they want to stay busy. They want to stay active. That's definitely not for me.
I always admire those people, because I wonder, where do they find the time? I mean, are these vampires? Are these people sleeping? Are these people who are able to be in 5 or 6 different bands? I mean, I applaud their efforts. I applaud their stamina and their resiliency and their energy. But I mean, I don't know if I could do that. I'm kind of more of a put all my eggs in one basket and really focus on one project and channel everything into that. But that route's not for everybody, and I certainly applaud those people that like to multitask and scratch certain itches by being in different projects. I applaud it. It's got to be hard though.
Yeah, I've done some recording stuff where people want me to sing a vocal line or two or drop a solo or something.
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool. I'm not really currently interested in doing any of that right now, just because. But like I said, everybody has to have a job and make ends meet, and it's like I wanted to say on the YouTube channel. It's not even a complaint. I think work is discipline. I don't. I've always had to have something every now and then through my entire musical career, and I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's part of discipline and time management and figuring it out. Yeah, of course, I would love to have, all day, every day to just concentrate on music. Right. It's not in the cards, but right. I don't use that as a crutch. I just, I just get to it when I can get to it. You know what I mean?
Well, real life takes over. You've got real work to do. I think kids come and see you up on a stage and they think, wow, he's a metal god. He's this, he's that. He does. I remember seeing an interview, Bobby Blitz from Overkill. And, the kid asked him in the interview, like, what's it feel like being perceived as like, a metal god? You know what I mean? And Bobby said, but you wouldn't look at me as a metal god if you saw me mowing my lawn on a Sunday. I'm just a regular guy, doing regular guy shit. Like, I don't, it's a little bit pretentious, Yeah,
you can still rock the fuck out and be a badass. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and that's at least as far as I know.
Yeah, and even on one leg at a time and grinding.
Yeah. Even if you're posing as a human being, you probably still got to cut your grass every now and then.
Right, you do. Yeah, you do. That damn shit just keeps right on growing. I know. And so,
you put the They Live glasses on and you see somebody mowing their lawn. Oh, it's one of them.
And so before I let you out of here, the best way for people to stay tapped into the tour dates and for all that stuff, like, where's the best place to follow on the socials?
Oh yeah, any of them. Narcotic Wasteland Official on Instagram, or Dallas Toler-WADE Official. Facebook as well. TikTok. I haven't done anything over there recently, other than post a couple of funny video game things.
Yeah. You guys are out there, though. You guys are out there. You're not hard to find.
Yeah. And, we try to keep the website up to date too, narcoticwasteland.com. We could try to keep that update as well. So check that out.
Yeah.
And there will definitely be some more stuff on the YouTube channel very soon as well.
And so how long will you be out for? This tour starts in September. How long will you be out for?
I think it's the whole month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last show might be the 27th. So pretty much the whole month.
Yeah.
And I think there might be like one day off or something. So it's going to be a hustle. It's going to be fun.
You guys are, so you guys are hitting it hard.
Yeah, always. Getting back to one of the things that you were saying earlier about preparing myself.
Yeah.
The set list practice, but pre-set list, I do work out a little bit. I stretch myself out.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And the same, without there, stay hydrated, stretch yourself out. Don't just jump in, pick up, and start playing crazy because you have
to. Yeah.
Yeah, like warm up. I'll have my little practice rig with me that I can put in my ears. I can just walk around and warm
Yep.
up before the show and get ready. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'm excited that that we were able to set this up on such short notice, man. I just talked to you earlier this afternoon, and we put this together, man. I had an open time slot, so I appreciate it, man. Always love catching up with you and chopping it up with you. And when the new album drops, we'll get on here and do it again. Love to chop it up again.
Excellent, man. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Stay in
appreciate
touch.
you, Dallas. Thank you, man. Good talking to you, my friend. Best of luck out there on the tour, man. Looking forward to it.
Always a pleasure.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Good talking to you.
Oh yeah, have a good one.
Later.
Cheers.
And there he goes, folks. Dallas Toler-Wade. You know him from his damn near 2 decades in legendary death metal band NILE, and now Narcotic Wasteland. As I said at the top of the interview in my little preamble, a staple, a stalwart. I love those words of the death metal scene. He's been doing it a long, long time, and has put in some amazing work. Go check out his vocal and or guitar work on so many of those incredible NILE albums. One of the truly proficient, amazing, technical death metal bands. Amazing. And the work that he's done thus far with Narcotic Wasteland, also equally technical, amazing, and brutal. So their last album was 2017's Delirium Tremens. Go check that album out. And as he said, expect new music from them before the end of 2025. So that's exciting. There is a single, Barbarian, that came out last year. That's probably the most current thing that you could find out there. But again, you can go back and listen to the last album in 2017. So I know fans are probably chomping at the bit for some new music. And the boys will be out there starting in September on a tour. Go check their socials for dates and locations. As Dallas said, they are out there. They're all over the place. You can run them down Instagram, their official website, yada, yada, yada. You all know how to use your computers. Uncle Rexx can't do it for you. You got to do the legwork yourself. I'm sorry. I'm bringing you this amazing content, but I can't hold your hand all the way, folks. So appreciate Dallas Toler-Wade for coming on here, man. Always a pleasure chopping it up with him, man, and hope you guys dug that episode. I already pimped the podcast at the beginning. Y'all know how we get down. Go check us out on Facebook, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum, yada, yada, yada. If you're here on the channel, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, yada, yada, yada. You know how I get down. I can only do so much pimping per episode. I did it at the beginning before Dallas jumped on here, and just giving you the capsule version here at the end. So again, my big thanks to Dallas Toler-Wade. Hope you guys dug that episode. And remember, when your boy Reckless Rexx tells you, take it easy and keep it sleazy.